What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy GemMint, and we're here with the new comic book day reviews. Today's Wednesday, July 15th, and we have a ton of books here. Before we get started, I want you guys to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com. If you're looking to purchase any omnibus, absolute editions, or collected editions, they sell them for up to 50% off cover price. Immaculate packaging, quick shipping, great customer service, and they also have a bargain bin where you can get titles up to 90% off cover price. If you mention GemMint in the memo at checkout, your second order will have free shipping if you're in the United States. So check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. Also, we're doing a giveaway for our 90,000 subscriber milestone. It's going to be a Supergirl premium format statue by Sideshow Collectibles. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll tell you what you got to do to enter. The first thing I want to talk about is the Star Wars Rise of Kylo Ren trade paperback. This was sent to us early from Marvel. This comes out this month, July 29th. And I was actually really happy that they sent this because I'm reading Star Wars and I'm reading Darth Vader. For some reason, I missed the Kylo Ren books and the back issues were sold out. So I was able to read it. I read the 4 issues and I really enjoyed this. It was cool to see what happened between Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren, that they had this falling out and that he attacked, or who attacked who, right? So it was really interesting to see that in comic book form. This takes place during that time when Ben Solo becomes Kylo Ren. Great artwork here. You have awesome covers by Clayton Crane. This is by Soleil, Sliney, and Guru EFX. You get some Snoke stuff. You know, I feel like we didn't get enough Snoke in the new trilogy, so we're kind of delving a little bit back into that. Artwork is amazing. Building upon the mythos. It's canon, and definitely something you guys should check out if you missed those single issues. So pre-order it or tell your shop or be on the lookout for this July 29th. Also, this is kind of an older series, man, but TKO, they sent us their Phase 2 stuff. We read it, I did a review on it, and then they sent me the Phase 1. This is Sarah by Garth Ennis, and I love the packaging. First of all, these single issues are oversized. If you look at like a comic or a trade, these are like omnibus size and height. This is by Garth Ennis, and it's an amazing story about this Russian female sniper and this sniper squad that she rolls with during World War II. Funny enough, though, it's a little bit tame for a Garth Ennis book, right? I'm so used to him in Punisher or Preacher or The Boys. This had violence, a lot of headshots and red mist. A great story, though. Great artwork here. Does it say who the artist is? I guess it's Steve Epting. So TKO Studios, independent publisher, doing great stuff with famous writers. They have a great book called Sentient by Jeff Lemire. You guys know how I feel about Jeff. And actually, if you use the code GemMint20, you'll save 20% off at TKOpresents.com. That's one word, GemMint20. So show TKO some love. Let's jump into the books. We have a couple digital and a ton of physical copies. Let's start off with Image, and this is Jonathan Luna's 20XX. You got Lauren Keeley on the book as well. I'm getting a little bit tired of 20XX. I don't know. Just nothing really is happening here. What can I even talk about without spoiling this? Our main character, Myrrh, dealing with this whole gang rivalry with the East versus West and the death of her cousin who kind of got her into all this mess to begin with. She's still learning her powers, and she's still going up against enemies. Kind of the same thing for the last 5 issues. It's a black and white book. Not digging it as much as I was when I first started it, but I don't know, maybe I'll give it a few more issues. So the next 2 books, there's nothing more I can say than I haven't said it a million times. The first one is Family Tree. This is issue 7, written by Jeff Lemire. You have art by Phil Nestor. You got Eric Gapster and Ryan Cody on the book as well. Like I've said, I love this title. It's emotional. It's interesting. The whole dynamic of these people reverting back to trees. It's not necessarily a bad thing. They have a tree kind of consciousness. We have the little girl speaking to her mother from this other realm. The mother is obviously distraught with the, death or disappearance or daughter turning into a tree. It's a great book. I mean, you can see by the cover, it's kind of like this fetus inside of a flower. And I'm like, man, are they going to resurrect? Is this going to be a rebirth kind of thing? What's going to happen? I don't know. But Jeff Lemire, great writing on this book. And it's just an interesting premise. It keeps me interested every time. Same with this next book, Gideon Falls. This is issue 23. Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino. again, so this is actually a whole arc that's taking place in this kind of futuristic version of Gideon Falls. So I kind of like that. This is part 2. I forget if it says 2 of however many it's going to be, but I like this arc. It's kind of going to let us play in this new world that they've created, a futuristic world where nobody has pure blood, everybody has cybernetic enhancements, and our smiling man, our devil in the background, kind of making a little power play at the end here. Incredible artwork and paneling and storytelling from Andrea. Jeff Lemire, his writing is top-notch, one of my favorite writers right now. Can't say anything more about this book. I can say that Oblivion Song just got its first volume hardcover, so I'm hoping to see the treatment. I would assume we're going to get it for Gideon Falls as well. It'd be a shame if we didn't. All right, sticking with the indie books, right? So we have from IDW, Snake Eyes Dead Game, Issue 1. This is a Rob Liefeld art and plot. He's also got Bowers, Corona, and Blee on the book as well. You know, I picked this up. I thought Liefeld only did like the variant cover at first, but this is like Liefeld's book, and it feels very much like his 90s Deadpool, which is my favorite version of Deadpool. I know most people will say Joe Kelly, but I like that Merc Deadpool, dual katanas. Basically, Snake Eyes is a black suit Deadpool this whole time. Two katanas. He's shooting guns. Cool little, G.I. Joe story mixed with some supernatural stuff. This resurrection of this big mummy type creature that Snake Eyes goes up against. It's a fun book. You know, I was a little bit of a G.I. Joe fan back in the day. I was more of a Turtles and Transformers guy. But, G.I. Joe was a part of my childhood. And this was basically an excuse for Liefeld to do Deadpool again, if you really want to get real, without the whole, hamburger face, Wade Wilson side. But I was digging it, man. Maybe I'll pick up issue 2 and check it out. I like the first issue good enough. All right, then we got a couple of free comic book day ones. The first one was this Power Rangers book. This is The Road to Ranger Slayer. So check this out. I'm not reading Power Rangers in single issues. I collected deluxe editions, and I've read Year 1, Year 2, and Shattered Grid. This feels like it picks up right after Shadow Grid. I don't feel like I missed anything. I said Shattered Grid. I don't feel like I missed anything. You have the Lord Draken stuff. You have the one Kimberly from the other universe where she's older and more jaded, but she's badass. So I definitely was digging this. There was not really a lot of Power Rangers Zord stuff going on, but they're really setting up this, Pink Ranger as the Ranger Slayer, although it kind of looks like it already happened and she's just reliving and telling the tales of it. But I definitely was digging this Power Rangers book. What's the creative team on here? Oh, okay, you have Dan Mora on the art, written by Ryan Parrott. Man, the Power Rangers art is always super clean and dope. I really like it. It's maintained the same quality since they started on this reboot of the Power Rangers comics. Really good stuff. And I'm thinking that maybe now I'll be able to just continue reading Power Rangers in single issues, kind of get caught up on a free comic book day book. Gonna jump over to DC Black Label, Daphne Byrne, issue 6. This is Laura Marks, Kelly Jones, and Michelle Madsen. So the thing with this book, man, this kind of felt way different than all of the other issues, and I think this is the last one. Daphne Byrne trying to rescue her mother. Her possession, ghost or whatever, was seemingly gone the whole issue. I don't know. She kind of saves them all. I don't know. It was a weird ending, if that's what you want to call it. And it was kind of a letdown, man. I really enjoyed this series, but I didn't really understand what was going on here. I mean, you had, I guess, the conclusion with the cult that's been brainwashing the mother during these psychic readings or whatever you want to call it. And it was very culty. Everyone's naked, trying to have sex with each other, get married to each other, or whatever. But anyway, it was just whatever for me. Sticking with Black Label, we got Tom King, Mitch Gerads, and Evan Shainer's Strange Adventures issue 3. I am digging this series, man. This book really shed a lot of light on what was going on with issue 2. Who was that guy that was training so hard? Mr. Terrific. Well, we find out what his role is. And we find out that really Adam Strange is on trial here, man. He's on trial, that the Justice League is putting him on trial for his war crimes. So we're kind of flashing back. That's how this book's being told in all the issues. They're flashing back from when he's on the other planet. I forget the name, Rangard or something. And then when he's on Earth, he's a hero to some. People are calling him a criminal. And we see interactions with him fighting kind of gladiator style back on that other planet. And my man, he gets his hands dirty. But, I mean, it seemed like he didn't really have a choice. The artwork is slick here. The writing is good. I mean, I know Tom King kind of has a love-hate relationship, but I think he really does well on these like 12-issue maxi series. Like you had Vision, you had Omega Men, and now he's killing it over here on Strange Adventures. Digging it. Oh, Dark Knight's Death Metal 2 on a Highway to Hell. This is Snyder and Capullo. Man, I didn't understand what the hell was going on in this book. This book, man, I kind of was, following along with issue 1 good enough, but man, this got really confusing. To try to give a non-spoiler take on it, Batman has retreated to go underground. He's trying to figure out how to combat the Batman Who Laughs. The Batman Who Laughs looks like he gets resurrected with a very powerful character, and I'm still not really clear on what's going on with that. I didn't really remember that much of the End of Metal with Barbados and the other being that comes out of that. What is her name? I want to say Promethea, but I know it's something like that. Perpetua. Yeah, you get the cool chrome cover. Perpetua, you have like this weird kind of rogues gallery of all the Bruce Waynes from like the Dark Multiverse, and it kind of feels like evil henchmen kind of things, But, you had some cool stuff. Like, the resurrection of Batman Who Laughs and what he becomes is pretty cool. But, I don't know. Let me know. I was a little confused on this one, Justice League 49. This is Spurrier, Lopresti, Ryan, and Barron. So this takes place. This is part 2 of the storyline that they started with the last issue, where the Justice League responds to this distress call in space. It's a rogue planet that has a micro sun. I thought it didn't have a sun because I thought rogue planet meant a planet that's just traveling without a sun. Anyway, so there's these two, I guess if you want to call them races on this planet. You have like the fleshies and you have the cyborgs, and basically they want the Justice League to lead them. They've usurped the tyrant leader there, who's a mixture of both flesh and cyborg. Wonder Woman says, hell no, we cannot lead these people. We are not kings and queens and gods and this and that. And Batman and Superman decide that they need to rule these people because they have no leadership. And Wonder Woman basically tells this story of I don't know if it's a Greek god or this big giant who basically try to do the same thing. It was an analogy for what was going on here and why you shouldn't rule people that you don't know about their culture. And they make a lot of mistakes trying to rule these people. It's going to be a throwaway story, but it was okay. It was interesting enough. The artwork was great. Kind of comic relief stuff going on here. Kind of serious. It was all right. Catwoman 23. This is by Northcott, Murphy, Tormey, and Plasencia. Was not digging this one at all. I think it was kind of funny though. Selena Kyle meets up with this guy. His license plate on his Lamborghini Countach says blow hard. He's looking like he's straight out the 80s. He's doing coke. A lot of cocaine talk in this. He's trying to get her to do coke. It's 11 in the morning. I don't know, but she's basically going to this island that's full of, diamonds and cats. And she wants to rob the place. I don't know. I really lost interest. I don't know if I'm going to continue reading Catwoman because it just kind of is its own little thing. And I'm just not interested enough to continue reading it. So this probably will be the last unless there's a Joker War tie-in. Speaking about Joker War tie-ins, issue 72 of Nightwing with Dan Jurgens, Cliquette, and Filardi. So Punchline on the cover. Here comes the Punchline. Dick Grayson versus Punchline, or I guess you should say Batgirl versus Punchline. If you guys read the last issue, I'm not going to give spoilers, but the Joker's interaction with Dick Grayson has some ramifications here, and I can't really spoil it, man. But what can I say that won't spoil this? I guess I really can't, because anything I say here is going to be a spoiler. Artwork was good. The Punchline stuff was good. They're really using her now in other titles besides Batman, introducing this Joker War. Dick Grayson's going to play a part in that, or they call him Rich here. I guess he lost his memories and he was going by Rich. But I definitely was digging this one. Joker War tie-in. Is it a must? I think you should definitely read it if you're keeping up with the Punchline stuff and you want to know more about the Joker War stuff. Moving over to Marvel, I read a couple of these issues digitally. The first one I'm going to talk about is the I, Wolverine 2020. I didn't pick this up physically because I kind of just dropped the Iron Man 2020 thing, but I kind of wanted to see this because I was always interested in this Albert character, this Wolverine cyborg. I remember seeing him on a trading card back in the day, so I wanted to read it, and I was really digging this issue. Who is this by? Larry Hannah, Roland Bashi, and Andres Mosa. You know, this is kind of like a Madripoor patch kind of Wolverine story, but it's the cyborg version Albert, and he's looking for his little girl android companion that she's been sold off, and her parts have been sold to this guy, that guy, and this guy. So he's basically hunting her down, putting her back together, and taking out anyone that's getting in his way. Doesn't really tie in much with the Iron Man 2020 stuff. There's just a little blurb in there that asks him why he's not part of the Robot Rebellion, and that's it. But otherwise, I was really digging on Wolverine. I'm not going to talk about that one until we talk about Empire #1. So Empire #1, Al Ewing, Dan Slott, Valerio Schetti, and Marte Garcia. So Empire issue 1 takes place after Avengers and Fantastic Four. Empire issue 0 is basically combining them into one, where both of those issues meet. This is the fork in the road. And where we left off is that the Avengers are on the moon, the blue part of the moon, the part where the Inhumans used to live. It's now a green part of the moon, and you have the Kotati, which is a plant-based humanoid race that's living there, and the Avengers are there to protect them. The Fantastic Four roll up on Earth after they leave the space casino. In tow, they have a Kree child warrior and a Skrull child warrior, and they see the entire fleet of the Krees and the Skrulls, and it seems like they're attacking Earth. But this issue really shows you where they're going with Empire. Why is it called Empire? Whose Empire is it? I'm not going to give spoilers, but we find out in this issue. It was good, man. It wasn't a slog. I mean, I think this storyline's been keeping me interested. I'm going to keep reading to see where it goes. And speaking of that, I did read the tie-in of the Fantastic Four 21. This issue was by Dan Slott, Medina, Azaski, and Menes. I'm probably butchering those names. This one really wasn't that important. Basically, the Fantastic Four send the kids down to Earth with the Skrull and Kree child warriors to kind of, I don't know, go to safety. And these warriors were bred to fight each other and hate each other. They're skilled like master warriors. So even though they're younger, they're a force to be reckoned with. So they're always fighting and bickering, and it all goes down on Yancey Street. They get into a big fight where the Fantastic Four children feel like they have to call in the reserves to kind of keep it under control, which is where we get Spider-Man and Wolverine, and as you can see, they're on the cover here. What's interesting about this one is that there was like this sexual innuendos between Wolverine and Jean Grey talking about Colossus. But what's funny here in this book, it kind of puts all that to rest, because Spider-Man's kind of messing with Wolverine like, hey, first of all, they recreate the Amazing Fantasy 15 scene, and he's holding Wolverine swinging. And their banter back and forth is like, hey, I know you do the fastball special with Colossus. Is that okay because he's shiny and hard and I'm soft and squishy? And Wolverine was basically like, don't play with me. So it kind of puts to bed, I would think, those rumors on what was going on in X-Force 10. So not really a necessary tie-in, but it was still worth the read. Speaking of Al Ewing, Guardians of the Galaxy issue 4, you also have Juan Cabal, Federico Blee, and Guru EFX. He does a lot of coloring for Marvel. He does a good job, too. So at first when I was reading this, I thought I really wasn't going to like this. You know, it's funny that Donny Cates made this whole big thing about the death of Rocket Raccoon, and everybody was speculating on his death. Rocket never dies, and they end up killing Star-Lord in like the beginning of this run, which... Come on, guys, it's comics. He ain't gonna be dead forever. I know Rocket's like undercover at this casino. Oh yeah, we're dealing with this Marvel Boy character. I forget where he came from, man. I think the first 3 issues were pre-quarantine. I don't know, man. Nothing really to write home about. It was kind of a forgettable issue. Speaking of Donny Cates, we got Venom 26, and it's all about this virus character, man. So Venom is basically trying to prepare himself and Dylan for the coming of Null, right? So that's what it's all about. And you have this character, Virus, who is trying to hunt down Venom. He looks like War Machine mixed with Punisher mixed with a symbiote. Is this a spoiler? First of all, the artwork is incredible. Who's on this? Coelho, Gideon, and Abertrov. First of all, can you guys see this panel? Artwork is super clean in this Venom book. Oh, can I say this without spoiling it? So, I mean, we know the maker, Reed Richards, has been a part of this Venom run since the get-go, right? So, let's just say, basically, they run up on the maker who's creating a portal, and everybody gets displaced somewhere else, right? So I don't really want to give spoilers. It's a nod to the origins of the Maker, and that's all I'm going to say. And it looks like they're introducing a Venom Beyond storyline. So Venom and crew are going to be somewhere else for the next few issues. I was digging this one. All right, we got Al Ewing again, right? Yeah, on the Immortal Hulk, you got Hawthorne, Morales, and Mounts. So this is the aftermath of the Zenmu stuff, the Roxxon stuff, and basically Bruce Banner dealing with his multiple personalities. And they're doing a really good job now on describing that these different Hulks that are all in his head are all different, like, personalities of him. He's got a disorder. And you have now a power struggle between Bruce Banner as a human and the Joe Fixit human version, not the Grey Hulk. And you have all these Hulks in his head with the Devil Hulk chained and locked up in his head. They don't want to let the Devil Hulk out. But, we found out that he's the world breaker, but he's really only going to break whoever's trying to harm Bruce. So it's cool to see the interaction between who they call Savage Hulk, who they call the Green Scar, which is the World War Hulk, and the Devil Hulk. What's funny? So Hulk, Savage Hulk is kind of like in the good graces of the humans now, and he's doing photo ops and build a home type of events. And it looks like, the leader is going to play him. The leader was given his own kind of origin story in the last issue, and he's posing as one of Hulk's friends, and he's basically going to make him look bad. So that's kind of where we're headed with Immortal Hulk. All right, the other free comic book day that I mentioned was this X-Men book, which really is more than X-Men. So it's by Hickman. You have Larraz and Garcia. Basically, there's two stories in here. You have the X-Men story that's setting up Ten of Swords. Is that what it's called? Ten of Swords? Yeah, Ten of Swords. Basically, that Emma playing with tarot cards. And then there's this backup story here with Iron Man that's setting up this event called the Dark Ages. And it looks awesome. Man, I am super excited to jump onto this Iron Man run. Tony Stark Iron Man, man, he gets into this huge accident. It looks like it's going to cause a blackout, or the blackout may have caused the accident. It looks like we're going to have this Dark Ages type of storyline where there's no power anywhere. He's flying blind. He gets really injured, and I was really digging that Iron Man backup story. And now the pick of the week, guys. It was hard to pick a pick of the week this week. I almost didn't have one, but I went with the Giant Size X-Men Magneto #1, man. This was by Hickman, Perez, and Curiel, and I almost thought this was going to be whack. I saw a lot of skepticism based on the previews pages that kind of looked like it was Magneto and Emma Frost eating dinner and talking about silverware or something like that. But, man, this was a dope-ass issue. Basically, Emma Frost tasks Magneto, or asks him for a favor, I should say. She wants this island for a base of operations. So Magneto goes there. Lo and behold, Namor owns it. So you have him summoning Namor, which is great because Namor makes him wait like a long-ass time. And then he basically has to go on a little side quest with Namor before he can get, ask permission for the island. And Magneto basically shows that he's worth his weight around Atlantis, right? So it was a great issue. It was awesome to see him build this kind of HQ for Emma using Sentinel parts and stuff. Being a statue guy, we're always seeing these Sentinel bases, and you have this huge Sentinel head as part of the building. And it looks like Emma's going to call a meeting. We don't really know who, but I was really digging this. I really liked how they what they did with Magneto in this issue, and it was the standout for me. So that's it. Been blabbing along long enough. I want to hear what you guys think about this week's comics. Drop me down what your picks of the week were down below. And like I said, we're going to be doing a giveaway once we hit 90,000 subscribers. All you need to do to enter into the giveaway is be subscribed to this channel and comment on this video. You can comment your pick of the week or whatever you like. Once we hit 90K, we are going to pick a random video where I promoted this giveaway, and we're going to do a random YouTube comment generator to pick a winner. Could be worldwide or whatever. So the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have when we do the random drawing. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.